Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Wanjala John, a senior trainer with Africa 118, and I'm glad that you've managed to join us. Just confirm on the chat that you are able to hear me loud and clear, and also you are able to see my slides. So just confirm on the chat that you are able to see me, and also you are able to hear me. I'm being joined in with my able moderator, that is Benson Weru, who will be our moderator for the day. So feel free to engage him as much as possible. Let him respond to some of the concerns that you people are having and also some of the questions that you'll be having. I don't know how the weather is where you are joining us from, so feel free to tell us your name, tell us the nature of the weather where you are joining us from. Is it cold? Those who are joining in from outside the country, that is Zimbabwe, that I can see Museveni Media. And also, I see Sarah Muni. Thank you very much for joining us, Sarah, from Nairobi. Is it cold? Are you home already? Is the curfew over, or has it begun on your side? So feel free, just share with us, and I'll be glad to know that all of you are able to hear me. So I just want to know your energy levels. I know you've had busy days, and today, just feel free to tell us where you are joining us from, and also in the rate of 1 to 5, what is your energy level this evening? So just feel free to tell your energy level, and I'll be glad to know best to go about this session. So I want this session to be more interactive. I know it's late in the evening in some parts of the continent for those who are in Kenya, and also those who are in the southern part of the continent. So just feel free to engage with us so that we can get the best out of this particular session. So as you can see on your screens, we are going to discuss more on how do you create a digital marketing plan. I know every time we talk about online, somebody is asking, have I known everything that I need to know when I'm talking about online? And every time I speak to business people or I speak to people and they start telling me, I'm struggling on the online platform, and then I ask them, have you discovered where your problem is? But you find that some of them fail to know where the problem is because they're trying everything at the same time. So I would want all of you to always understand it is very important before you do anything to have a plan in place before you do anything. So always understand what is your plan. If you are going online, what is your digital plan? So that the moment it does not bring you the results that you are looking for, you will know that automatically there is something that you never did wrong at this particular stage. So as my norm or my routine, I just like saying big up to the first person who was on this chat. That means he was dedicated to just be the first person, and I see it is Museveni Media, who was here as early as 7:44. That was 15 minutes before the session began. So very, I applaud you, and I just say thank you for making this happen on your side, and also for Sarah Mwenye being the first lady on the chat. I say karibu sana, and also I see Ruheni wa Mudenge connecting from Nairobi. I see Masi Chege from Nairobi. I see Doris from Nairobi. I see Masi confirming that you can hear me. The same to Doris. I see Ruheni. Oh, nice, Ruheni. You've just said your energy level is at 8 out of 10. That's so high. I like that energy. I hope also when you hear me, your energy level would go and exceed the 10 limit mark. And also, I see Hannah Kahehu. I like these names. And also see Elijah G joining in from Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you very much, guys, for joining us. If you know any one of your friends or colleagues who is supposed to join us, just feel free to drop them a chat and let them know that we are starting our session today, and we will be glad to proceed with them. So remember, this session is going to last for 1 hour, and pay attention to some of the links that my moderator Benson Weru will be sharing with you on the chat. And don't forget also to subscribe to our YouTube channel, that is Africa 118 YouTube channel, and also put a like button on our video. Just spend some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also every time we'll be going live, you'll be having some notifications just on your side so that you can join us. It is a great pleasure having all of you here. And without further ado, I want us to start this particular session. And I hope all of you will get to understand what it means by creating a digital marketing plan. So even before we start, let me ask, the moment you hear somebody say, "Do you have a plan?" what comes to your mind? You know, even those people who fail usually have a plan. And the wise man once said that uh, the beginning of failure is in the plan itself. Even before you start, you'll know if this person is going to succeed or not by the plan or the roadmap that they are showing you. You know, if for example, if you are to go to school and you are being told that you need to do the preparatory, that is maybe the kindergarten, and then go to the unit classes, and then you do a national exam, and then go to the second high school, and then from high school go to campus. If somebody could just lack a plan of you spending that particular time on a given grade, if you're in kindergarten, there's no time limit that you're supposed to spend this particular time on kindergarten, would you have gone to that school? That means even you as a business person, every time you want to do anything online, ask yourself, am I having a particular time schedule and a clear plan that it can guide me so that I can get the best? So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the main reason why it is very important for each one of us to always make sure you have a digital marketing plan. And towards the end of this session, I would expect all of you, if not most of you, to make sure you understand step by step some of the things that you need to do before you go online. Just to say hi to those who are joining us, I see Grace Nyawira, thank you very much. And Mercy, your energy level is at 11. Thank you. Thank you very much for the love, Mercy. I think it is the highest, and I just have to recognize that. I also see Nyawira. I see Ali's a plan is goals with actions written down. Nice definition. And Doris just saying your day is busy. I hope to hear more on digital planning. Nice, you will get to hear that. And feel free to share your questions with my moderator, who will be also responding to some of them. So I just want us to start with our key agendas for the day. And our key agendas today is what do we mean when we talk about digital marketing? You know, we are talking about having a digital marketing plan. But before even you go to the marketing plan, do you understand what digital marketing is? And after understanding that, now we are going to the second stage where now we need to build a digital marketing plan. So you need to have, the same way as Alice has just said, written down out guidelines so that you can achieve a specific goal in your business or in your work or in your job, in whatever thing you are doing. A plan is something that is clearly stated, trying to notify you, I'm going to do this, and then that, so that you can get your desired success. And then the last thing we are going to see, how do we harness the power of digital advertising? So after understanding the digital marketing part of it, the second thing you need to do is to now have a plan. And then what power do you need to give it? You know, every time I talk about this, I usually remember about the soccer teams. And when you see any soccer match, I know for the lovers of soccer, there is a Champions League tonight, and there was another game yesterday. And every time before you walk into a game or a match, you'll find the manager or the coach will have a plan of how to beat the opponent. And if the plan is easily known by the opponent will fix the loopholes so that they cannot concede from that particular team. So when you're talking about a plan, you need to understand what is my goal first. So don't just have a plan without looking at the desired goal. So I think I just want all of you to have that in mind, so that as we proceed, this plan is the ideal thing of having this plan is to make sure that you achieve a given or desired goal in your business, in your job, in your life, in everything that you do in this world. Let me start by asking this, because now with the current pandemic time, you find that most people are going online. And the moment you go online, you'll ask yourself, how will I get my online audience? And those are the people that we refer with the business term as customers. So how do you engage your customers? Do you engage with them on WhatsApp? Do you engage with them on Telegram? Do you engage with them on Snapchat? Nowadays, even people engage on TikTok. Some people even do business on TikTok. I don't know what is the experience, guys. Just feel free to share with my moderator, and I'll be looking at some of the responses that I'm getting, and I'll be glad to share with you more. So, how do you engage with your audience? And if you're engaging them on Snapchat, or if you're engaging them on TikTok, all those other platforms, are you achieving your desired goal? So many people criticize this particular platform is not going to work for my business. But the question comes here, what is your goal before you go to that particular platform? And that's the main reason why you are at this particular session, and you will get to understand how best are you supposed to engage with your clients based on their interest and based on your goals that you want to achieve. And to our first agenda of the day, that is now an introduction of digital marketing. And even before I give, a better explanation, let me just see the first person on the chat who can tell us, or maybe just share with us, what do you understand when you talk about digital marketing? What comes to your mind? What is digital marketing? When you hear about digital marketing, is there anything that comes to your mind? Hit us up on the chat. And I'm just seeing people joining in. I see Espoe from Rwanda, and also I see Charles Nji here from Ruiru. Thank you very much, guys, for joining. Daniel Odhiambo, all the way from Kisumu. Better late than never. You are late with 15 minutes, but you've not missed much. It is when I just want to ignite the engine and kick you people off. So feel free to tell us. I see Noni Gadoni from Kasarani, and I'm glad that everything is happening well. So, guys, just tell us on the chat what you understand with the term digital marketing. And for those who are joining us, for the sake of just bringing you people up to speed, we are looking at how best do we create a digital marketing plan. And we did begin by saying that uh, having a plan is as best as knowing your goals. Those are the steps that you need to take note of, so that you can assist you to get to that particular or desired goal or objective. So when you're talking about digital marketing is just basically, in a layman's language, promotion of a product or brand using an electronic device or via the internet. So anybody who is promoting any product or brand using an electronic device or using the internet, that is what we refer as digital marketing. I know there are so many ways, there are so many channels that you can access the digital space with, but basically the moment you just use any form of electronic device or internet, we refer to that as digital marketing. And right now everybody is talking about the world being a global village. Will you say the world is a global village and you don't know what is happening in India, for example? You don't know what is happening in Rwanda, for the people who are joining us from Rwanda, and yet you have the internet, or you have an electronic gadget that can access the internet. That is basically how it is. And how do you consume this particular information? It can either be through texts, it can either be through videos, it can either be through apps, it can either be podcasts, and also some of the electronic billboards that we have around. So the moment we are talking about digital marketing, we are referring to those things which pass through the internet or use electronic devices. So having said that, we live in a mobile world, and I have to say 80% of the entire world access the internet using their phones. Take note of that as a person. 80% of people who use the internet always use their mobile phones, including myself here. I don't walk around with my laptop or with my tablet just to access the internet. You'll find the first thing I'll consider is my mobile phone. The reason it is portable and it is something I can just put it inside my pocket and I can walk with it anywhere. So every time you are talking about mobile world, ask yourself, how many mobile people do we have in the world? And now break it down in the continent, break it down in the country, break it down to the region where you are in, and you'll understand what it means when you are talking about mobile world and accessing the internet. I see Mercy's response. Digital marketing is using the electronic media online platforms to reach out to your customers. That's the perfect definition ever. Thank you very much, Mercy Chege, for just sharing that. And I'm glad you are all getting what digital marketing is. And when you're talking about living in the mobile world, just try and ask yourself, how many SIM card registrations do you have in sub-Saharan Africa? Before even you look at the slide, 747 SIM connections. I know some of us possess over more than 2 gadgets. Either you are having a laptop, either you are having a phone, and you are accessing them using different accounts. So we consider those as different registrations. And just in terms of percentage, 91% are in South Africa and 80% in Kenya and 80% also in Nigeria. Those are the three main continents, three main countries that we usually look when you're talking about the numbers that I've just shared with you. And you find for the active users, because I know some of you will attest to this. Parents buy their kids phones at an early stage, and the moment they resume to school, they now take those phones away from them. So for the active mobile users, you find that they are 65%. And every time I talk about this, I ask myself, right now I'm not in school. Right now I'm seeking to make more money as a business person, as somebody who is employed and you are having your side hustle, or as somebody who is also looking for employment and you are not getting enough where you are in, or you are seeking to get more money. You ask yourself, what are some of the opportunities that I can get by just these people connecting with what I'm promoting online? So, well, first of all, you understand what digital marketing is promoting a brand or a product on the online platform. The second thing, you look at the number, how many people are online. And after that, ask yourself now, what opportunity might arise? I think talking about opportunities, there's so many opportunities that I can arise. And I just want to see if maybe any one of you has ever gotten something outside the internet. Maybe you did post something on the internet and you found out that this is working for you and it kept you going, and maybe you left it or you tried it another time and it never worked. Feel free to share that with us. And I believe I see the CEO chair joining in from Tanzania. I believe most of you right now, you know how the entire continent is because of the internet. But ask yourself, in Kenya, so many people are talking about the appointment of the new Chief Justice. In different parts of the world, people are talking about the pandemic in India. So in Rwanda, what are you people talking about? In Tanzania, you had your holiday the other day. People were just trying to see how best they can connect and tap into those particular opportunities. So if you are a digital person, you need to ask yourself, what opportunities will arise with this particular thing? Number one, you find that whenever you go online, you'll find there's an increased reach. You can reach so many people. You can learn about your customers. I will know. Right now, I'm in Nairobi, Kenya myself, but like I'm talking to somebody who is in opportunity can it arise by just me getting to know that somebody in Rwanda is in need of this particular content, is in need of this particular tool, is in need of this particular aspect in my life. So that is an opportunity that can arise because you learn more about your customers online, and you can provide either a service or a product that can be of value to them, and you get paid. And then also you can easily communicate and support, either by improving your customer service. People will let you know, I don't like this in your presentation. That is why at the end of this particular webinar, we'll be sharing a feedback form of you just telling us, how do you find this particular session, and how was it to you? What do you want us to change, and what are some of the things that you want us to consider? So guys, those are some of the advantages that people get when they go online. But I want us now to go deep into marketing, talking about digital marketing. I know that was just the brief. I gave you the definition, and now we want to see what are some of the channels that we need to know when we are talking about key channels to consider for digital marketing. And I'll be showing you these in a few so that you can put some image on all these. Look at this. We have search engine optimization, search engine marketing. The moment you hear the word search engine, it comes from the word search. What search engine optimization is about promoting that particular website so that it can appear on the first page. And search engine marketing comes with the payment aspect. People bid on certain keywords, and the moment they find those keywords and people click and land on your site, you pay for that particular click. And then we have social media marketing. Here's where you use the social media platforms. And then we have the display marketing, we have the email marketing, and the content marketing. Just to give a clear definition on each of the aspects. So if you are taking notes, you can note down. These are the 6 ways that you need to just know or understand when you are talking about digital marketing. SEO is now when you optimize your website so it shows up more often when somebody is on the search engine. So the results, I'll show you these in a few as I pause for questions. And then we have search engine marketing. Here's where some people refer to this as SEM or PPC, that is pay per click. So when you're talking about paying for adverts to appear, to make your website appear in the search engine, that is what we refer as search engine marketing. Social media is just now using all the Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, so that you can promote your product or service or brand using social networks to gain traffic, attention, and to reach new people. And talking about email, email is where now you can easily collect a lot of email addresses and you communicate to them so that they can get the best. And content is more about creating and sharing different types of content. And when you're talking about different types of content, this one can either be infographics, either they can be images, or some of the videos or some of the blog posts so that people can understand what you are talking about. I'll be in a position to share with you some of them. And let me just see if there is any question in the room. If there is any question in the room, feel free to share with us and I'll be glad to respond to them. Any question? If there's no question, feel free to just share your question with my moderator, Benson, and I will be okay to show you all that I was talking about. I want to demonstrate to you what I was talking about when I was talking about SEO and SEM. This is something that you need at least to put an image on it. So look at this. This is my search engine. This is the way our search engine looks like. So if I come to the search engine and I type cheap flights from Nairobi, let me say I'm flying to Kisumu. From Nairobi to Kisumu. Those are places in Kenya. If I do this, you'll see my results here. I want to fly from Nairobi all the way to Kisumu. If you look at the first result here, just confirm that you are able to see my screen. If you look at this first result, you see there is an AD, then you see find the cheapest airfares. You'll find now the URL of that particular company, that is www.kayak.com. The second one is www.eddreams.com, and then I find farecompare.com. Those are sites that I can visit and be able to book flights from. So the moment you see an ad that appear here, these are one, this is the first ad, this is the second ad, this is the third ad. So whenever you see these kind of ads, this is what we refer as search engine marketing. Somebody has paid for this, and you see the keyword here is cheap flight. If you look at the first thing, you'll see cheap flight has been highlighted. Cheap flight has been highlighted, and we have what we call broad keywords. We have specific keywords. So anybody who had bid on cheap flights, their budget was good, and also their landing pages are good according to the Google formula. They will appear on the first page, and if somebody clicks on it, appearing is one thing. If I do not click on it, they will not be charged. But if I go ahead and click on this and be able to visit their site, this is their site. So if I click on it and it takes me to their site, you'll see they will be charged a certain amount. So I'll be checking here, and I'll be able now to book my flight from Nairobi all the way to Kisumu. So these people, if they were doing the marketing, they would be charged. Let me go back. That is SEM. When I'm now talking about search engine optimization, I'm referring to people who have not paid anything, but they appear on the first page of Google results. And if you can look at this here, this is about 131,000 results. And if you go down, you will be able to see the number of pages. You'll see this is Google. This is page 1. This is page 2, 3, 4, until the 8th. I doubt if most of you usually go check these pages, unless you are looking for something that you are very sure you are looking for that specific one. But this is why we say to appear on the first page, which is down here. This is the first page that you people are seeing. This is the second, third, until all the pages are over. So these other sites that do not have AD, this is what we refer as SEO. They've not paid, but they appear. So I can easily come to Nairobi to Kisumu and I fly 540. If I want to use the fly 540, I can easily come to their site because I know they've done good SEO and they've caught my attention, and I'll be able to just fix here. They'll tell me they care. If you want to book, I need to do all these. I'll just scroll down and say it's okay and click outside. It will close in the next 17 minutes. It's just like following the government directive, giving you, this is an alert. So because of the working hours and also the COVID restrictions, some of the airlines have tried just to inform their customers why they will be suspended for some given time. So that is why it appears that way. But if everything was okay, you'll find you can come here, pick if there are 2 adults. If you have a kid, you pick if it is 1 kid, and when do you want to travel. If maybe I'm traveling for the holiday that is coming up in May, I can decide, and if I don't have an infant, I can just choose the departure date to be on 30th, and then I return on 7th. That is a week, or let me say on Wednesday, and then I search a flight. So I will be able to get a flight, and the origin is here. I need to specify where do I want to leave from. I'll say JKIA Nairobi, and this is to Kisumu. So I need to specify I'm going to Kisumu, not Mombasa. So once I do that, I search for a flight. And once I search for the flight, you'll find it will now tell me 2 adults and 1 child. And then automatically they give me their disclaimer for this section. The government directive will be closed until this particular time, and they are suspended. So no flights are available for now. So I've not visited their office, but I'm able to know when I want to fly with 540 and they're cheap, I'll not be in a position to do that. So that is basically how it is. And anytime you want to understand an SEO or an SEM, just look at the AD and the one that does not have the AD. So feel free to share some of your questions and I'll be glad to respond to them. To our second thing, now, what is a digital marketing plan? We've understood what digital marketing is. We've looked at some of the key channels and we've seen some of the opportunities that do arise. So the main thing that we want to look at is now, how do we build the marketing plan? This was our key thing. And here's where you need to take your pen and take your piece of paper. Number one, the same way I started this particular session, I said that you have to make sure you have a desired goal or objective to achieve before you draft a plan. What is your plan? If somebody asks you, what is your plan? Plan to do what? My plan to achieve this particular goal. That is the first thing. So number one step is your business goal or objective. What do you want to achieve? And which goal do you want to get to? The second thing, what is the budget? What are some of the resources that you need to put in place? The third step is the audience that you are targeting. Remember, we are looking at the digital space. You ask yourself, what is the goal? What's the budget that I'm looking at? What are the audience that I'm targeting? Are they the youths? Are they the old? Are they this kind of people? Even if it is religion, there are some people who even also because of their financial capabilities, they do not even visit some other sites. So just try to understand the persona that you are targeting and then decide which channel. We've looked at the channels in the other slide. Which channel do you want to use? Then plan your activity. Then lastly, always make sure the objectives are smart that you have. And we are going to understand the difference between a goal and an objective so that towards the end, you'll not confuse the two. Just to break it down for those people who want now to get in depth. Step number one, as I was saying, have your business goal and objective written down. And you can see the pen and paper there where people are just writing it down and making things straight. And the moment we are talking about getting it on paper, what you need to make sure, what are your goals and what is your objective? And just to start it off, let me know on the chat who knows the difference between goals and objectives. Anyone in the chat? Just try. I would like to know what are some of the things that you think when we talk about goals and objectives. If somebody asks you, what is your goal and what is your objective? What comes to your mind? And feel free to share your questions. I'll be glad to answer them. And my moderator will also be answering some of them. So share on the chat what you understand by the term goal and also objective. So the first thing you need to understand, we have online objectives. We are talking about the online space. Do you want to increase traffic to your website? That's an objective. Do you want to increase online sales? Do you want to increase the social media attraction? Do you want to increase the reach and awareness? Those are some of the examples of online. But now when you want to understand the difference between online objective and a goal, your goal is the ultimate result, but objective is something that you need to do so that it can take you to your goal. That is the difference between a goal and an objective. So when you're talking about a goal, we are looking at an aspect where, do you want to make people aware that you exist? I want to make people to know that I exist in this particular sector or industry. Then do I do that? That is the question. So you need to increase. That is the objective. The goal is I want to sell more products. But the objective will be, let me increase the website sales. so that I can sell more products. So that is the difference between objective and a goal. So going to the second part, what is the budget or the resources that you have? Before you go to any journey, you have to look at yourself and ask yourself, what do I need for this, or am I lacking? So getting the budget is something that you need to know. What resource do you have? Is it possible for me to get this with this particular resource that I have? Then after understanding your budget, you'll know if you need some funding, you'll know if you need some funding, you'll know if it is okay, you'll know if you need to source. And this is why people say you cannot just start a plan without a resource. What is your resource? Do you have the human labor? Do you have the financial capacity? Do you even have the space? Do you have the time to do this? All those we refer as resources. It is just not a matter of money. And then to the next thing you have to understand is your audience. Who are your audience? Make sure you understand your audience in depth. Understand who they are, how they behave, what influences their decision, where do they come from, so that how is their purchase level. Right now, people who are in Nairobi, people who are in outside Nairobi, you ask yourself, what will be the ideal thing for me to do during my birthday? And if your birthday falls on December 25th, which is a Christmas day, so many people can have various plans, and so many people combine those functions just knowing it is a month of celebration. So after that, what are some of the marketing channels do you want to use? We've talked about the channels before: the SEO, SEM, the display marketing, the content, and we were looking at some of them. Now that is the point now where you come to ask yourself, which channel am I going to use? And when you're talking about this, ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand how you need to use them. So if you want to increase your online reach and awareness, are you going to use the display ads? Display ads is where you have some banner ads running on multiple websites. And also, if you want to increase reach, you can also use social media. If you also want to increase reach, you can put it in your content so that people can get to know you are existing. This is just a guideline. And then also, when you want to increase the sales, you can also do the SEM. You remember when I was just doing the search on cheap flights, I was able to land on 540 on with SEO. But there are people also who had paid on cheap flights as a keyword, and I was able to land on their site. And if I was in need of a flight, I would have picked on one of them. And also, you can use email marketing. These are some of the ways that you can just get to meet those customers that you are looking for. Then, after understanding the channel, the fifth step, get to plan your activity. Planning is the key thing here. How do you plan? Am I going to do it twice a week? So understand, am I doing SEO first? After SEO, am I going to SEM? And when you're talking about digital, the first thing, am I going to list my business on Google My Business, then create a free website, or do I have a website? After that, am I going to set up a Facebook page? After Facebook page, am I going an extra mile of doing email marketing? So all those are options. Plan your activity. Don't just jungle everything together and then tomorrow you say, I think digital marketing is difficult. Have a day, know how to do it, and you'll be able to get the best. Then remember the objectives that you did set, they have to be smart. Let them be specific, let them be measurable, let them be achievable, let them be realistic, and let them have time bound. If you fail to put time on any plan you have, you will never achieve it. You'll never track. That is why, regardless the pandemic right now, people are like, this year is almost half year gone, and I've not achieved what I'm looking for. So always understand, what is my short-term goal? What am I supposed to achieve in the next 2 weeks, in the next a month, in a quarter of a year? What have I achieved? What is one thing that I can look back and say, I did this and I'm proud of my efforts? So those are some of the key things that you need to know. So just an example so that you can get to grasp this. For example, if somebody comes to you and tells you, what is your plan? have something like as this. My goal is yes to get money, but on the digital aspect, I have an online objective. And abroad, if somebody just tells you, I want to increase my online sales, that's so broad. You have to have a smart objective. I want to increase my online sales by 50%. And you have the first thing, I'll know you've gotten the goal. The second thing, I'll ask you, do you have the necessary budget or resources to get to that? The next thing I'll ask you, whom are you targeting so that you can achieve that? That is your audience. After getting your audience, I'll ask you, which channel have you chosen to use? After the channel, now I come ask you, how are you going to execute this? Tell me your plan. But so many people just come and land on the channel and they're like, okay, fine. I think it is working for my friend or my colleague. I think also me, I can do good in this. And that's not the case. So basically, this is the plan. Get the business goal right, understand your audience, get the channel that you're going to use, plan your activity, look at the online objectives that you are having, and have a smart objective. Those are our 6 steps to get to the right goal that you are desiring. I want to pause for questions. Let me just see some questions coming on, and I'll be glad just to share with you how best to harness the power of digital marketing. I hope so far so good. All of you are able to be at the same pace with me. I see Noni asking, customers tend to become repeat customers and they are vital to business success. Okay. Haile, you are saying the lectures is good, but how start digital marketing? How do you start? And that is just what I've been discussing. I hope your question has been answered. You just said understand the digital space, get your goals right. What is your objective of going to that particular platform? Get your resources, and then after your resources, know your audience that you want to target, know the brand, what you need to sell or what you need to promote, then choose the channel and you will be able to start and plan your activity. Choose if you're going to do the SEM or the SEO, or you want to start with the social media based on your audience. That is how you are supposed to start. I see Noni asking, I'd love to know what are the key elements of digital marketing. I think when we are talking about the key elements, when we're talking about key elements of digital marketing, you need to understand first, what is your objective as a business? So always have a strategy. And that is why the moment you have a plan, that will be the first thing that you need to know. The second thing, have something that can be valuable to your customers. And then try to understand your customers by building their personas, and also make sure you have something online. So the moment you have you understand the digital strategy that you want to use, have something that can be of valuable to your customers, then understand the market, build the customers and understand some of their personas, and then build on your content. The moment you get that, those are some of the key elements that you need to just put in check when you are talking about digital online. And then I see Grace. Objective is a short-term achievement while goal. Yeah, okay, fine, Grace. You tried to answer my question, and I think you are somehow right. And thank you for your feedback. Also, I see. Let me look for another question. Daniel, you are asking, how vital is the use of photos with digital marketing, especially with website like Google My Business? Perfect question. Perfect question. Every time we are talking about photos, let me ask you guys, and I don't know how most people fail on this. I am on Facebook myself, and anybody who asks me for friend request, the first thing I look at is their picture. I don't even look at where they went to school or what they are dealing with. So as a business person, let me ask, do you think people can easily put up an image without with your good words that you are using, even if you are using the proper English. So images speak a lot. And let me just say this: every time, every time I ask this question somewhere, I don't know why people don't get it. And I just want to ask this. Let me share this. As I ask this, which is the ugliest bird in the world? Just drop your answers on the chat box, and I'll be able to show you the answer. The ugliest bird, and there's this bird called marabou-storks. So marabou-stork is the ugliest bird. So when I say the ugliest bird in the world, and they're somewhere in Naivasha in Kenya, you'll find them. If I ask this ugliest bird, if you look at these results, you'll be like, no, 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 I'm not going to read this to get the ugliest bird. But when I come to the images, you'll find the images of the ugliest bird. And these are some of the ugliest bird that are existing in the world. So this is the marabou-stork. You can see the marabou-stork, the way it looks like. It's among the ugliest bird. So the moment you put an image, when you're talking about anything online, it builds trust and it affirms a lot of people to just connect with you and put an image. I believe every time you go online and you just want to buy or purchase or interact with anyone, the first thing you consider is, what are they selling? And is the picture okay? Most people who have gone online to just shop, I'm very sure you ask yourself, guys, I saw this on the online platform, but it's not what they've delivered. So pictures speak a lot. Thank you, guys. Continue sharing your questions, but now I'll just go to the last discussion of the night. That is, how do you harness the power of digital marketing? So when you're talking about harnessing the power, how do you now tap into it? How do you tap into the digital marketing space? Every time, if you get the power, you will know what is the one thing that I need to do so that I can get to my level of optimum level. So look at this. How do you get started with search engine? There's a power in every key channel that we are talking about. And that is what I just want to show you here. And I'm just going to speak on each of them at a very fast stage, and I'll show you on a literal example how it is. So how do you get started with search engine marketing? Remember the cheap flights that I wanted to book from Nairobi to Kisumu? So when you look at that, you'll find also something. The first thing is the search query. What is your search query? What are customers that you are targeting, the audience going to look at on the search button? You remember the first thing I went was on the Google search and typed in a search query. That is the first thing. After getting the search query, what I need is now to paid text and shopping ads. You saw me underlining the ad. When I'm referring, this is the first ad, this is the second ad, this is the second ad. So the paid ad will appear. And then lastly, you'll find now the organic search listings. So basically, that is how you get started with search engine. Somebody starts on the search. What will people look for? So you need to understand what is the keyword of the target audience. Two, which ad, which paid text am I going to put up to attract people? The third thing is the organic listing. So this is the process, guys. Number one, understand your customers. If you understand your customers, it will make you understand their language. Everything in this world is about your recipient. How do they understand? Today, I know in different places of the world, we have slangs. And the moment you talk to anyone and they tell you, in our language, this means something else. And you're like, okay, sorry, I never meant that. In our language, it means something different. So the key thing before you do anything online, understand the audience that you are talking to. The second thing, find some of the keywords that they like using when they want to purchase that brand or product. The third thing, create an ad copy and then pull it together. So when you're talking about creating an ad copy, we need to understand how do you create an ad copy. And I will be showing you that in a few. And how do you sign up, or how do you now get started with SEO? I want to combine the two. We have SEM and SEO. SEO is now the free one, and the SEM is the paid one. With the free one, you need first of all to search or to sign up with the Google Search Console. I'll show you this. So just go to Google Search Console and then insert your website so that Google can monitor it and know this is your website. After verifying it, it will now be able to have everything that is in your site. The second thing, help Google find your content. How do you do that? Submit a sitemap. It's just like a route map. If you're going somewhere, somebody will tell you, follow left, then turn right, then go 20 meters, then turn left. So having a sitemap is telling Google, if you come to my site, this is what you'll go, this is what you'll get, this is what you'll get. And then lastly, it helps Google and the users understand your content. Titles be there. So with the question that Daniel asked, always make sure you have pictures, good titles, good pictures, and some of the things that people will easily understand. And just to give you tips, run keyword research. We have a keyword planner where you can easily know which are some of the keywords that people do use when they are going online. And then the second thing, publish the useful, high quality content. Useful, let it be useful. Let it just be a matter of putting the keyword here and there. Let it be useful. And then make web pages search friendly. When I say friendly, let it not be that something that loads a lot. Let it load at a very given speed. And if you want to know if your site is okay, just go to g.co stroke test my site, and you'll be able to see, is your site loading faster or slower? I'll repeat, and my moderator will be posting that, g.co slash test my site. I want to go to Google display ads. These are the banner ads. Every time you talk about display ad, you find that you are on multiple sites. There's a difference between search advertising. You remember when you're looking at the SEM and SEO, we were on the search. That means you'll get an ad and you'll get the organic searches. So that was most on the search. There's a difference between display advertising and search advertising. So on the search advertising, you find that it is focused more matching about the search queries. The search that the audience will put on the search engine will determine what comes up. But on the other hand, on the display, it is focused around having your ads across different websites. It can either be a news site or a blog or a local website. And then also it is most relevant on the primary objective of generate sales. You remember when I was doing the cheap flights, I wanted to fly, and automatically that will be a sale. But on the display, it is more on building brand awareness, because I'll just see the ad on a site that I did not even go to. If I go to maybe YouTube and then I find an ad there talking about SportPesa or talking about these betting sites, I'll just know, yes, they've built brand awareness, they have this particular site. The process of one thing that you'll observe with everything online, customers come first. Understand your customers. The second thing, find place ideas. Placement, where do you want to place these ads? We are talking about display, and how do you create an ad which is creative? Let it just not be a boring ad. You know, every time I'm watching telly, you find the adverts coming and you're like, okay, fine, I think this ad makes a lot of sense. But some do not make sense at all. So I'm very glad just to make sure you create something that is creative and is something that can go way too far. I don't know, and then you pull it together and you'll get it to the latter. Let me ask, how many have ever seen this advert of Coca-Cola? It was a long time advert where I think it was a Coca-Cola advert. Most of it is being used during the football tournaments, and you find there's the late Papa Shirandula who was doing. Brrr. So those were some of the things that so many people, you could see him going to nations after nations and trying just to tell people to do that, and people would understand. When you take that, you'll be able to get to that mood. And then lastly, when I'm talking about social media, why do you now have this power of social media? I know most of you have done the social part of it, talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, and LinkedIn. If you want to go on Facebook, why should you even social? Organic literally means free one, and paid is the one that you pay for. So talking about the two, anyone who is paying anything on a social media platform, it means it can reach anyone even who do not follow you. But if you are on the organic one, it will only reach the followers and friends of your followers. That is it. And just to get the whole process, first choose an objective. Why do you want to use that? After getting the objective, ask yourself, which are the right audience I'm serving? Then create an ad that is creative. This ad that is creative, all we mean here is create something that is attractive to the eye, to the viewer that you are targeting. Don't just put an ad for the sake of pouring up. And then set a budget. That is the process of social advertising. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask, is there any question when doing this? That is just harnessing the power. Kindly try as much as possible to understand what digital marketing is, and some of the numbers that I've shared with the SIM card registration. First, after understanding the goal, after getting that, how do I harness the power? How do I get everything right? That is it. So without without doing all that, you'll find you'll be trying here and there and you'll fail. So guys, I just want to appreciate each one of you for joining us, and don't forget to follow us on our social media platforms. And don't forget to follow us on our you did get that I've already shared with others before. Kindly hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel Africa 118, and also hit a like button on this particular video if you like the session, and you'll be able to get to be notified when we are going live. The second thing, always visit this particular site so that you can get the best. I know this was just a 1 hour, and some of you are like, this is a lot of content. Yes, we do have subsequent sessions where we are going to cover this in depth, and just follow our YouTube channel and we'll be able to explain much more in depth on this particular topic. So go to learndigital.withgoogle.com and you'll be getting variety of courses there. Choose the one that you find is valuable to you as a person, as a business, as a job seeker, as anyone, and you'll be able to get the best out of it. So another thing, don't forget to just follow our social media handles. That is Digital Skills AF on Twitter, Digital Skills AF on Instagram, and also Digital Skills for Africa on Facebook. So the moment you do this, just share some good comments. What have you learned, and use those hashtags. So the moment you do all these, you will be able to just Google Digital Skills is reaching to you out there, and in the courtesy of this particular program, you'll be able to be reached. And the way you share it out with your networks, let them know Google Digital Skills is doing this, and we'll be glad to get to hear from you. I just want to look at the chat as I appreciate each one of you. And don't forget to also share your feedback with us on our feedback form. And we will be able to just get to understand how you want the sessions to be laid out to you. I know we've been having series of these, and also we'll continue having some of the series of these sessions coming up in the near future, and we'll be glad just to see all of you joining and get the best out of it. I just want to express some of the love. I see Noni. I see Noni is saying learning something new. The lecture is awesome. Thank you for that, Noni. I hope you did get the best out of it, and you'll now go out there and do the best in the digital space. Also, I see Sami Shege saying powerful presentation, learning a lot. Thank you, and I hope you've taken some notes. And Mercy, I think you deserve a clap. Let me just do this for you. You said Marabu stock. I hope you didn't Google when I was doing this. That's the ugliest bird in the world. I think some of you have learned that if you didn't know. And also, just feel free to share some of the my moderator Benson has shared some of the links with you, and you'll be able to get that. And can we get the links on our WhatsApp group? Okay, we'll coordinate with your organizer Daniel, and we'll be able to see what we can do. And then for just feel free, Noni. Thank you. Very educative. Thanks for that, Noni. You're welcome. And I just like the fire emojis that you are putting that, and also this back to you. And just thank you for making this possible for everyone. Mercy, Doris, and the rest, Alice. Most of you are just showing your love for this session, and I'm very glad that you got to enjoy the session, and you did enjoy this particular topic. So as you go out there, remember to keep safe, maintain social distance, and also sanitize most often. So guys, without further ado, let me just say thank you very much for joining us, and also thank you very much to my moderator Benson for engaging the audience. And I've been your lead coach, and my name is Wanjala John. I want to wish all of you success in your life and also in your businesses. And just to let you know that we'll be having more of this session. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can be getting notification. Thank you very much. And God bless you.